Let's play Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Just gonna be a brief stream this afternoon before I play some Ars Magica, which is very exciting. I love that game. Very, very fantastic pen and paper RPG. But I've been kind of obsessed with Crawl lately, so that's what we're doing. Um, doing this for a minute as I eat some chicken McNuggets. They're disgusting and awesome. Huh. Hmm. Alright. So we're working on getting shields up to 15. So we can use our awesome shield of resistance. This is what's called an unran dart, a non-randomly generated artifact. Or rather, it's randomly placed throughout the dungeon, but uh, its stats are always the same. And they always have some kind of cool, unique flavor text to go with it. This one says, a bronze shield looking almost exactly like a tortoise's shell. It was built by the adherents of an obscure minor faith who imbued it with the power of their god. As the god is said to, this shield protects against sword and sling, frost and flame. So that's kind of cool. Um, it's amazing. I was just ecstatic that we found it. So we just have to survive long enough to be able to use it. And yeah. Our escape resources are a little thin right now. We have one blink scroll. We have 5 teleportation scrolls and a wand, which I think I'm going to go ahead and identify. We have a handful of scrolls of identification. Yeah, see, I'm glad that I identified that. Because it would have been an unpleasant surprise to use it and find out that it was out of charges. 2 scrolls of enchant armor is nice. Scroll of amnesia we don't need to carry with us. Okay, cool. Clean up our inventory a wee bit. And we won't need where is it? Yes, this Amulet of Resist Mutation. We won't need that for quite some time. Neither will we really need Ring of Sustainabilities. Sustain abilities, not sustainabilities. We will. Ring of Magical Power, we may want to just throw on. Ring of Fire, we don't need now. Ring of See Invisible, we definitely want to keep. At this early on, I like having on the Ring of Protection from Fire more, just because, you know, we've run into some Lindworms and Fire Drakes and that sort of thing. Not too much invisible stuff until you hit the vaults and the depths. But, I mean, still absolutely necessary to have in case we come across one of those, so that's why we keep it in our inventory at least. I feel like inventory management is something I spend maybe a little too much time on, but I really feel like it's important to maximize your options offensively and defensively. And the best way to do that is to have a full inventory that you can alter somewhat on the go. So if you find something new that you can or want to use, if you find a few wands, you don't have to leave something behind. And so, you know, managing your stash is, well, some people think it's boring. I actually really enjoy it because I'm a nerd. But I find that it not only helps you evaluate what options you have available to you when you're standing here searching through things, but it also helps you learn what you prioritize when you're actually going through the dungeon. And as an extrapolation of that, it helps you figure out what playstyles you like, what things you feel comfortable with, what you maybe haven't tried before. If you find yourself leaving the same thing in your stash over and over again, it's never in your inventory, maybe you don't need to be picking it up in the first place. That being said, there's never any harm in moving something to your stash aside from the turns that it takes you, which is not a big deal. So you can hoard as much as you want. It's just an interesting. It's a small resource that can give you an advantage, and that is what we're all about. Because this game, you need as many advantages as you can get. So let's look at what we're working with here. We have armor class of 33, which is just awesome. That's really, really strong for this point in the game. I eventually will end up with 40 to 50 armor class, probably. Which is about all that you need. I mean, you can stack armor so that you get up to 70 or something like that, but at a certain point, armor class combined with guaranteed damage reduction, which is very high for us, it becomes unnecessary. Things just don't hit you for that much damage. You're taking more damage from non-physical sources at that point anyway, so you might as well stack resistances. Speaking of, we don't have resist cold, which is too bad, but everything else we're okay. Love a source of clarity at some point. But not that worried. Okay, so what can we do now? We can go to the spider's nest. I'm really tempted to go to the spider's nest. I feel like we're very well set up for that. And yeah. Okay, let's try it out. Because, you know, could be a good source of oh hey Neil, welcome back. Good to see you. You know, if we do just fine in here, then maybe we're comfortable moving on to the shoals. I think the shoals are going to be a lot harder for us than the spider's nest. There are a lot of spellcasters and ranged attackers that are more difficult for us to deal with than a bunch of small, weak melee dudes. Or each attack individually is weak and therefore good for a high armor class character, versus fewer attacks that hit harder. Snorg. That's right, you can go berserk. So I think we can defeat Snorg. I'm pretty confident in our ability to do so. So we're going to wield a blowgun, and yeah, I got him on the first try. That's excellent. So then we'll go ahead and wield, I think we want the Whip of Venom. Yeah. Because his armor class isn't going to be that high. We get a few more attacks this way. Throw a couple of silver javelins at him. Sadly, that's about all we can do until he... Oh, gosh. Okay, so he shook off his lethargy and extended Zerk. Yeah, of course, now we have to deal with that. That's okay. I think what we'll do is we'll just quaff a potion of agility, and that should put us in a defensively superior position. Yeah, hit us for 2 damage. Hits us for 7 damage with 1 exclamation point. Ooh, that's a bit more. That's a full 3 hits. But he's pretty wounded. I think we're okay to continue. I know he can kind of deal a bunch of damage. So that was, what, 39 damage? I think he can do upwards of 50 max, but we have 15 or so guaranteed damage reduction, so like I said, I think we're doing okay. Yeah, We are hurting him, and the poison is giving us some inevitability here. Regained a hit point. Yeah. Excellent. Chop him up. Alas, trolls, unique trolls' hides and unique dragons' hides are not gifted with any additional properties when you turn them into armor, which is too bad. Jumping spiders are a little bit annoying. Let's wield the blowgun and use poison needles. For here, we're going to go ahead and adjust our... We're going to swap our whip and our morning star as far as key bindings. Yeah, I don't know if they want to go that direction. I mean, it reminds me in a sense of the old the racial armors and weapons, where, you know, elven leather armor, you got a bonus if you were an elf. Orcish falchion, you got a bonus if you were an orc. I don't know that they want things that are that narrowly available, or that restrict. But I mean, if they're the unique monsters, I don't know. I think it would be cool. Wouldn't mind seeing it. I definitely would feel more rewarded for, you know, enchanting a uniques, like Zatahwa, the giant, massive dragon that eats you for lunch half the time. Like, I feel like that, or Tiamat should just have, you know, kind of a cooler hide than. Anyway, so we do take some damage from the wolf spiders. There is the enchantress who wears a unique fairy dragon armor, and that's pretty cool. Finding her is neat. It probably goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Our poison immunity is awesome here. Staff of Conjuration. Okay, that's fine. It's one of the least exciting staves, I think. It just increases the power of conjurations that you cast, which, you know, whatever. Like, the other staves will do something on hit, or will, you know, give you some kind of resistance, or something along those lines, but this just makes your conjuration spell stronger. We will hang on to that, in case we decide to conjure things. Cool, so we're now actually at minimum delay with this whip, which is nice. Maces and Flails skill level 12. Okay. Again, this is where clarity is nice. Of course, confusion doesn't bother us quite as much, because we can always just drink one of these potions of ambrosia while we're confused, and be healing while we're just kind of standing there doing nothing, or, you know, trying to attack. And, of course, we have Slouch to get us out of pretty much any sticky situation in here. What do I want to be doing here? Do I want to turn off Maces and Flails for a minute? I don't think so. Yeah, I think this spread is still fine. I'm impatient, and so I want to get this Shield of Resistance online as fast as possible, but it's not really viable to just train defensive skills only. You need to be increasing your damage at all times, in some way, shape, or form. Just because, you know, it never really stops being relevant. I mean, you're never going to sit there and think, oh gosh, I just have too much damage for this situation. Especially when you get to, ooh gosh, I forgot about orb spiders. This is going to be interesting. I think just getting out of line of sight, yeah, there we go. That's just really what we need to do is have better positioning. Oh, we have a crossbow. Actually, that could be fine. We actually have bolts now. Yeah, cool. So we don't have to rely on this blowgun. It's useful, I suppose. If we actually hit them, it is kind of relevant. Okay, we're too confused. Yeah. This should be an easy branch. Might even be able to finish it up while we're streaming today. I have to stop in about 45 minutes. Hmm. What is the... Hmm. We're already almost at minimum delay with our crossbow. So my plan is to get crossbows to level 10 and then turn it off for a while, because that's the most efficient use of those skill points. We're never, unless we find some crazy crossbow that we want to use in lieu of a shield, or we decide to go shieldless at some point, which probably won't happen. I won't be using a two-handed crossbow, so one-handed crossbows are the only thing that I really need to be able to reach minimum delay, and so anything beyond that is still damage, but it's not as efficient as my other skills. So I will turn crossbows off at level 10. But until then, we'll leave it on. It's nice to get it down to that one turn per shot threshold. Just makes a lot of combat math way easier. Partial turns are tough to deal with. That's why it's almost easier to be at max piety Chabritos and moving at 2 turns per tile, rather than lower piety where it's like 1.7 turns per tile, because the math is harder when you have to calculate in what percentage of the monster's actions you're getting in each given round. It's just double the double turns. Boots. Do we not have boots? Huh. Let's go get ourselves some boots. An axe would be nice in here, but I mean, we're already very well set up for this. I'm not too concerned. Let's go back to the staircase before we put on boots. Okay. Up to 35 armor class. Deal. Three spiders in a row seems like a job for penetrating crossbow, although that doesn't seem to do a great deal. Swapping weapons takes half a turn, so it's actually a really good way to vary or switch up your attacks, since you can do it kind of whenever you want. It's not quite free, but it's almost free. We are the mods of Raft. I hated that stuff. Very annoying. Also, the fact that we have this Demon Whip of Venom is really cool. The Morning Star of Freezing would have been fine, but this is just a lot better. So are we good enough with this to... Yeah, okay. That's nice. Oh, I guess it can't fire through the Orb of Destruction? Oh, right, I'm not wielding my crossbow. Okay. Really want to be taking care of the Orb Spiders first, because that's something that really could blast us down, is a couple of well-placed Orbs of Destruction at max damage. You know, 2 of them at 60 apiece and we're dead. I don't know if they can do a full 60. I'm not sure if their spell power is quite that high, but it's pretty high. Okay, so we've got Brand Weapon, Holy Word, Random Uselessness, and Summoning. I think I'll hold off on reading it. On the off chance that it's branding, I want to have a weapon that we want to brand. I'm quite happy with what our weapons are doing right now. Scroll of Vulnerability we should take with us. They are actually useful. I think I'll turn those on auto pickup. Scrolls of Torment as well. Might as well have them, you know, around. Spider's Nest 3. Poison bolts. That makes our crossbow even better for this place. Super swell. Anything special about this blowgun? No. Then I'm not even going to pick it up because it's extremely unlikely that it's better than the one we have. The one that we picked up from Sonia. I guess we are full. I'll eat this beef jerky. I like finding blink scrolls. I think that's the second one we found this session. That's really nice. I feel a lot more relaxed with 3 blink scrolls than I do with 1. And let's quiver poison bolts. Seems incredibly strong. Okay, now let's go back to regular bolts. It takes 0 time to quiver something. It's gonna hurt. Ow. And that wasn't even full strength, I don't think. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I guess it was. Was it? Oh well, if it was there, then no, that was only 75% strength. Right? No, that was 100%. First tile is 25%, second tile is 50, 75, 100% damage. So, you know, 26 damage is a lot. Not unhandleable, though. Especially since we can kind of kill those whenever we want. Oh, there isn't a good way to block this, is there? No, we're just going to take some more damage. Some damage. Yeah, that didn't even do that much. And because we have a crossbow of piercing, we can fire at that orb spider regardless of what stands in the way. We've just been so lucky this run. It's been pretty absurd. I mean, we would already be doing well, even without the just insane advantages that have been heaped on us by ooh, and an artifact set of gloves. I just, this is our reward, dear viewers, for getting back together again. Okay, I'll take strength plus 6 gloves. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not sure that those are better than our gloves of archery, given that we've got our crossbow online now. Yeah. Hoping that'd be degeneration so I could get rid of it. What can we drop? Guess we can eat all this pizza. Don't really care all that much about perma food. I mean, it's fine and all, but well, this we can just try on. Ring of Wizardry. Cool. Oh, we actually do want See Invisible here because of ghost mobs. One thing I really like about this build is that we're not vulnerable to ghost mobs at all. I think we can drop this Staff of Conjuration. We can always come back and pick it up if we need it in the future, and I don't think that we're going to be focusing on conjurations enough to justify ever really wanting to use it. Shadow Trap? It's okay, we have warding, so these things are not too bad. They can't do nearly as much damage to us. Yeah. But even had they not been summoned creatures and subject to warding, I think we would have been fine in that situation. We're just very well set up to tackle this particular branch. Another Lamp of Fire. I don't really need it. You never want to chase the orb spiders down unless you're super duper fast, hasted or whatnot. Because they can kind of run faster than you most of the time. I think Spriggans might be able to keep up with them, possibly. They might even be faster than Spriggans, though. Regardless, they'll just run away and spin an orb at you and then keep running. It's very frustrating. Just use a ranged attack. Have some method of ranged damage by the time you get here, preferably with penetration. Not necessary, but very, very useful. Means you can use the other spiders as kind of a meat shield between you and the orb spider until you've killed the orb spider via ranged damage, and then you take out the others. I mean, if it decides to weave an orb, it'll. Ooh, I actually have to send out a text message real quick. I apologize, but if I don't do this now, my guests might not be able to get here. Okay. A strange disturbance nearby. Swamp worm. If I haven't said it already, the Shoals is going to be much easier. I guess we did find a Book of Power. That makes Conjuration slightly more appealing, but Conjurations as a school is fine. Let's just slouch here. I don't really feel like risking the damage from taking out all of those one by one. And oh, yay! We randomly generated a point of intelligence, which is excellent. Yeah, we've chopped our failure rate almost in half. At least for, our level 2 spell. But given that we have, well, spellcasting is helping that as well. Given that we have no points in any spell schools, I think we're doing okay. Gosh, air magic is really good, it's just not... It's so hard to justify putting experience into a -2 aptitude skill this early on. Ooh, Arachne. She's pretty rough. She can blink, she can ensnare you, she can venom bolt, she can poison arrow. Actually, she shouldn't be too bad for us. Okay. I mean, we have repel missiles. Got a really awesome demon whip. Yeah, no problemo. I mean, we're immune to poison, so what's she really gonna do? Stop a poison, meh, we don't care. Scroll of Torment. We'll just ignore that for now. Don't really need to carry it around. But actually, this area is a decent place to use it. Actually, Torment isn't as good against small things with a lot of... It's not as good against small hit die creatures, things without many hit points, because it's a percentage-based damage. Like all percentage-based damage, you want to be using it primarily against things with a lot of health, so you're getting... Ghost Moth. This could be pretty tough if we were a spellcaster or didn't have a Ring of See Invisible, but fortunately, it's instead no problem. A little bit of stat drain is nothing to worry about here. Clearly, our stats are good enough, even with a few points taken out of them. Oh no. Sorry, I wasn't sure if that was someone knocking at the door or not. It was not. Which means we can keep going for another 20 minutes or so. Strong poison? I just now saw that message, sorry. I don't know what you're referencing about strong poison. That Arachne has it, perhaps? Oh, a regular old worm. Oh, a brain worm. Those are also really rough for spellcasters. They can drain your intelligence pretty rapidly. But not a big deal for us. We just bash away. Hey, Genja. Yeah, I'm kind of addicted right now, and so I'm streaming for about an hour before some guests show up to play Ars Magica. which is so much fun. Oh yeah, true. Didn't think about that. Yeah, stat death is bad news bears, that's for sure. Yeah, gargoyles are totally immune to all forms of poison. It's awesome. Scratched bronze ring. Looks like an adventurer died here. Gosh, we're just carrying so much stuff. Maybe we don't really care that much about vulnerability right now. So you never know, this could be a really cool ring. +3 ring of protection. Actually, I don't care about that at all. Our armor class is 36. 2 extra, or 3 extra is not worth a ring slot. If it were the other way around, if it were AC 12, evasion 36, I might consider it. But as is, nope. Ah, that's what that is. It's roofers across the street. Always throws me off. It echoes in weird ways. No big. Ooh, an artifact ring. So it's just an artifact ring of See Invisible for us, since we already have resist. Hey, Rebek. You, Che? You're not a big Che fan, huh? You're not part of the court of Che Briados. I mean, might as well use the cool artifact ring over the ring of See Invisible. Exactly the same effect, but yeah, this is going about as I thought it would. Maybe even a little easier. Crossbows is. Yeah, I had some poor path. I made some poor pathing decisions in the swamp, and we ended up in a really tough series of battles, and we burned basically all of our resources getting out of the swamp, and then as soon as we got out of the swamp and started to rest, Dithmenos punished us for abandoning it, and it was, ugh. Yeah, it's, the Naga of Che Briados is deceptive. I have made it work once, and it was awesome, but it really is a lot harder than other races with Che Briados. It's that extra 0.3 turns per tile is pretty significant. Might even be more than that at max. I think it's 0.6 because it's 1.3 normally, and with Che Briados it's doubled, so it's 1.6. Yeah. I wish they would line up again. That would be nice. Can we get them both? Yeah. You can aim beyond monsters and then use the period key to fire there. That lets you. We're finding a lot of rings that we had not yet identified. It's pretty nice. Getting sort of a cursed +5 ring evasion. +5 evasion is actually really good. So let's see. Let's go ahead and read a scroll of remove curse here. I think we have plenty. We're not doing the Ashen Zari thing, so they're not all that valuable. And then what I want to do is put on this instead of. Okay, so 36 and 17. 36 and 12. /36 and 17. right? Yeah. Okay. How do I come up with my characters? A lot of it is just what kind of mood I'm in. I um, sometimes I just want to run through and bash everything in the face and just sort of leave it at that. Other times I want to challenge myself. I want to do something I haven't done before and try out either a difficult combination of race and class or just one that I haven't tried before. Um, this particular run, I was very sad about the demon spawn, about Sally Test's daughter. Not heartbroken. I mean, it was just a test character. I didn't really have a plan for it. It was a demon spawn wanderer. I never feel bad when a demon spawn wanderer dies, because that's what I use them for. Is just a testing of some function or another in the game. So after that, I really wanted to have a very successful run, and this Gargoyle of Chabritos, starting off as a monk and then worshiping Chabritos at your first opportunity, is, I think, an incredibly strong build for the entirety of the game. I mean, it's one of the best ways to get a 15-room run, I think. I'm sure that there are those who would disagree, who have found better paths, but I personally really, really like it. It can get a little tetchy at times, just because, Bolts of Flame, gosh. Is it time to get rid of the blowgun? I don't think so. I think it's okay to get rid of the Needles of Slowing, though. Those seem pretty bad. I would rather have Bolts of Flame than Needles of Slowing. Anyway, I wanted a successful run after last time, and also because, you know, I'm just now picking this game up again after 6 or 7 months without playing. Not because I got burned. Well, I got a little burned out with the tournament. What kind of wand is this? Wand of Fire. Wand of Fire is fine. I think I'd rather have it than a Wand of Lightning. I don't particularly much care for that one. Okay. Gosh, we really should just clear out our inventory. Alright, I'm going to drop a Ring of Protection from... Ring of Magical Power. I doubt we'll ever actually want one, and we have several lying around. We can always... And you can always just search for it, you know, use the Control F function to find whatever loot you left on the ground places. Okay. Oh, we're already on Spiders 5. Goodness gracious. I kind of want to slouch here. I think it's reasonable. It'll save us a lot of damage. I think we would win this fight regardless, but I would prefer to cut down the variance on that. You know, jumping spiders could get a few lucky hits in a row. We do have like a 7-tile vulnerability right now. So 7 jumping spiders all hitting us in a round could, you know, do 90 damage. One thing I recommend for ranged characters is instead of pressing F and then pressing Enter to fire at a target, using the period key instead. That will fire your missile to that exact spot rather than just in that direction. So you'll know. I mean, it doesn't really matter all that much usually, but sometimes, like if you have to retrieve your last bolt before you can do anything. Actually, I do want to enchant the Demon Whip. I want to rebrand it if possible. Because Venom will eventually outlive its usefulness, but like something like Electrocution would be super great for the Shoals. So let's see what it is. Yeah, there we go. Demon Whip Flaming. That's fine. It's not great. Flaming... I mean, Demon Whip does have pretty decent base damage. I mean, it's 11. It's not awesome. think, though, that, yeah, electrocution would just be strictly better on it, especially with such a minimum delay. So, we can always pour a few more scrolls of branding into it if we care that much. I don't think we will, just because we're going to have better things to do than use demon whips eventually. We're wanting an evening star. That's the dream. Kirke. Or Kirky? I'm not sure. Lo, thy comrades yonder in the house of Kirky are penned like swine in close-barreled sties. And art thou come to release them? Nay, I tell thee, thou shalt not thyself return, but shalt remain there with the others. From the Odyssey. Cool. That is the pig lady, yes. We have some magic resistance, so I'm not just immediately convinced we're going to die. We've got what? Two pips. So what do we want to do here? Ah, another spam bot. That's a shame. Revok, I like it. Rise up from your pig enchantment. Ooh. No, it's a potion of cancellation. If it was a scroll of cancellation, if it just exuded an aura of anti-magic, maybe you could disenchant the pigs and they'd attack her with you. That'd be cool. Okay, so she's deflecting missiles, which kind of is a shame. Makes her much harder for us to... I think here we can take a step around the corner. Sorry, pigs. What can she do? Porculator, Monstrous Menagerie, Slow, Corona, and Deflect Missiles Invisibility. I think here we may need to use Temporal Distortion and bring her next to us. Well, that didn't work exactly as I'd planned. I think we're still okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the reason why I wasn't particularly scared there is because harpies are kind of like spiders. They hit a lot of times for a little damage, and that is precisely what we are engineered to protect against. Oh, I guess we can probably switch back to our Morningstar freezing. It's more damage. Yeah, that's it. It's more damage. We actually we might be doing net a little bit less damage because we aren't at minimum delay with it yet. We will be in level, I think. No, 3 levels. That's fine. I guess we can probably drop these javelins now. What scrolls do we have left? Holy Word, Random, Uselessness, and Summoning, so... Hey, Summoning. Oops. Oh, this might be... Oh. Actually, yes, I do want to fire through my butterfly. I don't care if it gets mad at me. Summon Butterflies is a great spell. Bonk. Yeah, the pigs were humans. It's always sad when you have to kill some of them. If I'm feeling flavorful, I'll try to fight them without killing any of, or to kill Kirku without killing any of the pigs. Also known as Cersei, some people call it that. Ooh, that's gross. Berserk Emperor Scorpion. Let's just close that door there and wait for like 100 turns. Okay, Moth of Wrath down. Here, it's fine that we've got the Wasp here. I don't think the Wasp is going to be able to do anything to us. They're mostly dangerous for their poison. Yeah, the pigs attacked me to alert me to the fact that Kirku's hostile, and if they hadn't attacked, I might have approached and been ensorcelled as well. Sure, we'll say that. Okay, we're taking some damage here. I'm not too concerned yet. I mean, we still have a decent number of hit points here. Now I'm starting to get a little more concerned. Let's just slouch. Oh, we're out of mana. That's right, it costs mana. Oops, yikes. Well, seems like a good time for a potion of heal wounds. And just give us that little buffer. That Wasp was doing a lot more damage to us than I thought it would. Man, we're getting a lot of experience, which is nice. This also, by the way, is not normally the method you want to use for the Emperor Scorpion branch ending. Okay, we need to be a little cautious here. We're getting kind of low. I don't believe it can do 35 damage to us in one hit, though. Okay, yeah. We were out of mana for a lot of that fight, and unfortunately, Chabrida's abilities do require some mana. I would have used them earlier. By the end there, Slouch might have done something. The Emperor Scorpions are very slow, so it might not have even killed it, and I'd rather not waste the piety in that case. Yeah, the Wasps. Yeah, I would have liked to have used it on the Wasp, but the Ghost Moth drained me. Cool. All right, one rune down. Not bad for a day's work. Wow. It just drained our Wand of Teleportation. That's acceptable. It's not bad for a Zot Trap. Okay. So from here... Oh, hey, crossbow's level 10. We can turn that off now. Cool. Oh, wow, Shields is getting up there pretty quickly. As soon as it gets to 15, we can turn it off basically forever. I doubt we will ever replace the shield. It's possible, but unlikely. Cool. Goal now is to go back to our stash, and I do have to sign off at that point, unfortunately. Well, I mean, I'm very excited for what comes next, which is an awesome game of Ars Magica, which, if you've never played it, if you like Dungeon Crawl, you'd probably like Ars Magica. I can say that with a little bit of confidence. It's very complicated. It's not for everyone. Disc of Storms is okay, I guess. All right. we ever really want to disk construct it. It's pretty good for gargoyles because they're naturally resistant to electricity, so the feedback isn't quite as bad. But we're just not focusing on evocations at all, and so it's not really as useful. Ah, fed me. How nice. Okay, I'm not even going to do inventory management because I really do have to go. I guess we'll be here any minute. But I mean, we just knocked out spiders, and we'll do some inventory management next time. Probably tomorrow. I might try and stream every day this week. I think that'd be really fun. All right. Anyway, thank you everyone for stopping by. I hope that you've enjoyed it. Looks like a lot of old friends. So welcome back. Appreciate your viewership. So I will see you all later. Hope you have a good evening, morning, night, whatever it may be. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.